What is shaken, Internet? This is Salt bringing you another A Dash of Salts, which is the question and answer show where you guys ask me Salt's questions about video games and life in general. So, first things first, before we get into the show, let's go ahead and give some no more apologies, like always. I do apologize yet again for this show being basically an entire week late, and I'm basically skipping my show last week. There are a couple reasons, but it doesn't matter. Here's the point. Because I'm so late, and so first off, okay, a little scatterbrained. Let's go ahead and start over. Start at the beginning. Thank you guys all very much for joining in on my Q&A show. So first off, I'd like to thank all the people who continue to send in questions. So this is a question and answer show where you guys send me questions and I answer them. I've been getting a little bit less questions recently and a little bit less views recently, so I'm going to go ahead and try and jumpstart that. First and foremost, the February giveaway is done. So last month is over, and now we are going to go start a new month. That means this show, at the end of this show, I will be announcing the winner of the February $20 giveaway. Every month, I pick 5 questions a week, and I answer them in this weekly show. And at the end of the month, I pick everybody who got a question asked at all, and I put them into a drawing. And if you are selected from that drawing, you win a $20 gift card. This can be of your choosing. This can be a $20 gift card for Blizzard Entertainment. This can be a $20 LOL RP card. This can be a $20 Steam Bucks. Doesn't matter to me. As long as I can get a hold of it in your region, I will give it to you. Now, that being said, I would like to also jumpstart it and try to do some new things. So here's my first newest thing. I am going to be giving away games. So I'm a big proponent of Steam. I think that Steam is awesome, and I love Steam sales. Therefore, the last Steam sale, during the winter Steam sale, I went ahead and bought a couple extra games because I wanted to give them out to my fans. So first and foremost, I am going to be giving a game away every week as long as I hit 300 views. So if I get 300 views on this video, next week I will be giving a game to a random winner. These games are not going to be anything too fancy. I do have a couple games that are upwards of $20-25. If you don't own the specific game, I have plenty of backups, so I can find some game that you don't own and go for it. Additionally, a lot of these games are multiplayer. So, because I have to give them through Steam, if you would like to play these games with me after I give them to you, feel free to do so. I would love to play some games with some fans. And I might even record it and put it onto the channel. So, awesome. So there's a couple things you want to do here. You want to send in a question. You want to ask me a question, and the way to do that is to leave comments in the comments section below. Or you can send it to an email to a.dash.of.salts@gmail.com. That's a dash of salts with periods in between at gmail.com. Anybody who asks questions is entered to win, and I will select 5 questions for next week to answer on the show. That doesn't include everything, though. So, listen up. Basically, if this video receives at least 300 views, I will go ahead and throw in a game. I will select everybody who asked a question, period. Whether they got picked for the show or not that week, I will take them and I will throw them into a giveaway. This means, honestly, based on the most questions I've ever gotten is about 10 questions in a week. So your shot is very good. However, I am going to be trying to get 300 views. So to do that, I suggest you share this video. If you share this video, then it'll get more views, and if I get that 300 views and you ask a question, then you are entered to win a game. A couple of sample games that I have Forced. Forced is a fun multiplayer game on Steam. I have several copies of Battle Block Theater, which is a very cheap but very fun game multiplayer. I have Monaco. I have several other games that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I have a whole bunch of games, and I have a whole bunch of backlog games on Humble Bundle as well, because I generally buy the most expensive, well, not always the most expensive, but I always get the bundle on Humble Bundle, so I guess it's a little plug for that too. Either way, this is kind of a long intro. First off, I'd like to apologize yet again for this show being late. Second off, hopefully let's get up to 300 views. So please share this video so that we can get those 300 views and ask me a question so you can be entered to win not only the $20 gift card at the end of the month, but also a game every week. Every week that I get 300 views anyway. Starting now. So let's see how this goes. So let's just jump right into the questions here. The questions this week... Let's see. The first question for this week comes from Andrew. As a regular to the show, Andrew asks, what are some of the things you like/dislike about the new WoW patch? This is talking about WoW patch 6.1. So, the first and foremost, I've kind of answered this before, but I'm going to answer it specifically. What are the things I like about the patch now that it's out? The first thing I like about it is the new raid. Obviously, Blackrock Foundry is out. Blackrock Foundry is cool, and I'm enjoying it. I will be getting out some videos of Blackrock Foundry LFR guides very quickly. I know that I pretty much skipped the Hyamal guides. I actually do have some of those guides filmed and ready to go, but I need to render them and I need to put them all together, and I just haven't had the time to do so. So I'm going to be focusing on the Blackrock Foundry, the new stuff first, then I'm going to go back and make all those Hyamal raid guides. So sorry if you've been waiting for that, but I will be trying to get that Blackrock Foundry stuff out soon. So the first thing, obviously, I like about it is the Blackrock Foundry. I'm a huge fan of the Blackrock Foundry, and I like quite a bit additionally about the follower changes. There's quite a few follower changes. Obviously you can get higher level stuff now. You can get your followers a little bit higher level. Kind of a mixed match, just seeing new things. And I think it's mainly because the followers was the big thing for me. The followers was the big draw to keep coming back to the game and keep playing it. That's like the one thing I do on pretty much all of my characters every single day. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just do this. Great. Cool. The things I dislike about the patch is not so much what I dislike about the actual patch. It's more of what I dislike about the patch because it isn't there. This is kind of going back to my old days, but I am a big fan of 5-man dungeons. And they're kind of going by the wayside here. Basically, 5-man dungeons are totally useless once you get into LFR. It doesn't seem to be a thing at all to go back to 5-man dungeons. And because they brought out Blackrock Foundry, there's no new 5-man dungeons. So I'm hoping that in 6.2 we'll get some 5-man dungeons. I do not want this to turn into a Mist of Pandaria. Mist of Pandaria was awful, in my opinion, as far as 5-man content goes, because it started off pretty easy in the first place, and then literally you hit level 100 and you never went back. You never went back to the dungeons because they were totally worthless. And they never brought any new ones out. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, who cares about this anymore? Nobody does. So I really want 5-man content to stay relevant. And that's probably my number one major, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do at least one dungeon? Just throw one dungeon in there. There's plenty of stuff to go on. But I digress. That's basically my biggest lack of stuff. There's other things that kind of bother me and bug me, but nothing major. That's definitely my biggest thing. So let's go ahead and move on to the next question, since we're already running late thanks to that long intro. Next question comes from Sherlo. Sherlo asks, what do you think about elemental shamans in Warlords of Draenor? So I don't play an elemental shaman, and I think I have one in my guild. I've seen some restoration shamans, and I like them. They're pretty decent. Enhancement shamans, I think I have seen a couple of enhancement shamans, and their DPS has not been super high. They don't seem to be killing it, but I don't know if that's because of the class or because of the player. So yeah, but elemental shamans. The only problem with elemental shamans is they don't really pop out to me. They're not like a class that's like, oh man, there's an elemental shaman in my group. That's awesome. There's nothing that they bring that's like, oh, that's cool. Paladins bring all this, some healing and some things like this. Do elemental shamans heal? I don't know. It doesn't feel like they heal. Maybe they do. This is my total lack of knowledge, unfortunately, on this question, because I've never played an elemental shaman. I've always been kind of fascinated with the shaman class. I really would like to play a shaman, but it's one class that I've never leveled up, and I've never gotten around to. The one cool thing that I do like about shamans is, their ability to do lots of AoE. It seems like elemental shamans have the chain lightning, have the earthquake. They have lots of cool AoE things, but the problem is that doesn't always really relate to bosses. So as far as what I see in boss fights, I don't see the elemental shaman doing anything too fancy. So I can't really say, oh man, I'm really super excited about having an elemental shaman in my group. So, I'm not saying they're underpowered or overpowered or anything. I'm just not excited about them. So they're kind of like meh to me. Maybe a little bit lower than meh, because I just don't care. Sorry to all you elemental shamans out there. Moving on to the next question. Next question comes from Michael Czar. Michael Czar asks, Do you play any instruments? Which ones? Yes, kind of, sort of. So, back in grade school, I started picking up musical instruments to try out for the band. I first started playing. Oh, what did I start playing? I think I started playing the trumpet because my dad had a trumpet. He played the trumpet in the army, and I I was terrible at the trumpet. I didn't do anything at all. Then I moved on to the clarinet because my parents somehow acquired a random clarinet from one of their friends. Surprise. Lots of hand-me-down instruments. That's what I did. So I played the trumpet at first, then I did clarinet. I was not very good at clarinet either, and I finally moved on to the saxophone. And the saxophone is where I stayed the longest. I played saxophone for a couple of years. I can still remember how to play basic saxophone stuff in the C scale. No sharps, no flats. I can do saxophone. Awesome. As soon as you start showing flats and sharps and stuff in there, I start get really really messed up. But I could do like The Best of Us for Mary Had a Little Lamb and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Yeah, I was good at that. I got away from playing musical instruments when I joined choir somewhere in middle school, and that's when I sang a whole bunch, and I used my voice as an instrument. Hooray! But yeah, that was the big thing there. Okay, that's enough for that question. So the next question comes from Tonka99. I think I missed a 9 there. Either way, Tonka99 asks, when did you start on League of Legends? This is fun. So my first game of League of Legends was actually not on the account that I'm running now. It was on an alternate account that I just recently found and started playing again just for fun. I started playing the game pre-Season 1. So this was before Season 1, before competitive League of Legends. They had tournaments back then, but I was not into it yet. And I started it up, and I was like, I'm going to try this game out. I think I played Heroes of Newerth first. I never played Dota. Original Dota. Like, I played a lot of StarCraft, but I never played Dota. And Warcraft 3. But I never played Dota, and I played... So I tried it out, and I started up, and I remember very vividly my first game. I log in, and I play it. This was before bots and before all that stuff, so I played the game, and I was like, all right, let's try it out. So I did the tutorial, because they did have a tutorial at that time, I think. And I started playing, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, let's pick a champion. Okay, I'm going to pick a champion. I don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, all these champions look stupid. And then I saw Teemo. And I was like, ooh, he's cute. I'll play Teemo. And I literally did not know anything what I was doing. But it was perfect because, yeah. I started playing Teemo, and I was like, this is cool. I'm gonna play some Teemo. I'm gonna do some good. And I remember very vividly. First of all, I didn't buy items when I first left the base. And I didn't realize you could buy items until I went back. And somebody told me to go back. And they said to press B. And I was like, cool. So I went B, and I recalled back to the base. And I was like, oh, I need to buy items. So I brought up the shop, and I looked, and I said, well, I think this was before everything was sorted really nice how it is now. So it was literally just like, okay, I have this much gold. What's the most expensive item I can buy? Cool, I'll buy that. And I literally was like, cool, I buy that. And then the next time I come back, I'm like, okay, what's the most expensive item I can buy now? Buy it. It was like, I didn't realize that you bought stuff and then it upgraded into other things. I also didn't realize that I had to last hit anything. So I was literally just playing it, and I was like, I'm going to click on stuff, and I'm going to... Oh, there's a tower there. I should stay away from the tower. Okay, good to know. Stay away from the tower. And luckily, Teemo has pretty much no skill shots whatsoever. So I was literally like, I was maxing my poison and maxing my move speed, and I didn't know what Q did. And I was like, this is cool. I'm putting mushrooms down. I also remembered that I won that game, and I was very happy, and I had no idea what I was doing. I actually stomped. I think I went like 11-3 or something. I mean, I did really, really good. I think I was also playing against people who did not know how to play the game, which is not really the case anymore. You start at level 1, and it's like, oh, this is a cool game. Oh, everyone is smurfing. Hooray. Or there's bots. That's pretty much what it is. People are either botting or smurfing at level 1. That's pretty much all you run into nowadays. Oh, fun times back in League of Legends. Yeah, I did start on that. My first main character after that, I think, was Tristana. I played a lot of Teemo until he was not longer free, and then I bought Tristana, and I played her for a while. I think I switched to Vagar shortly after that. And eventually I settled on Rammus. I loved Rammus, and I stayed with Rammus for a very, very long time until I probably quit playing and moved to a different account or did something like that eventually. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I originally started in League of Legends, playing Teemo in that game where I did not know what I was doing at all. Okay, so that's all the questions I have for this week. So that's a nice quick show right there. So we have a couple things to wrap up. First and foremost, let's announce the winner. So the winner of the February Dash of Salts giveaway, the $20 giveaway, is, drumroll please, the winner is Alton Johnson. Alton Johnson, thank you very much for sending in questions. Thank to everybody else as well for sending in questions. Alton Johnson, you should check your YouTube message inbox because you will be receiving a message from me on how to claim your prize. So good job, Alton Johnson. Thanks to everybody else. Now, again, we're going to go back to the beginning of this video. I want you guys to share this video so we can get up to 300 views. If we get 300 views on this video, in the next Dash of Salts, 1 week from now, I will be announcing a winner for a game. And I will find like a set of games that you can pick one from, and, I'll give them to you. There you go. And I have several good games, several bad games. Whatever games you want, I have them. And all you have to do is have a Steam account. And all you have to do is have a Steam account and ask a question. Sorry about that. Ask a question as well. Whether you share or not is up to you. But if you share, that is much more likely that we'll actually get to that 300 views. So if we get to that 300 views, then you get the game. If you don't get to 300 views, then we don't give out games. There you go. Plain and simple. However, I still want your questions. Even if we don't get 300 views, we're still going to be doing a question and answer next week, and I will be answering 5 questions. So please either send those questions in to a-of.salts@gmail.com. That's a-of-salts with periods in between @gmail.com. Or you can leave your question in the comments below. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this question and answer video. Please like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And as always, you keep it saltsy, Internet.